What up? Friday night. Really Saturday night, but it's my Friday night. 2 years ago. I'd be driving home. I can remember this clearly. I'd be driving home praying. Right around this same time. Right around Malia's birthday. I'd be driving home praying not to get loaded. I'd sit in the living room. I'd just say, God, please give me the strength. I made it through the week. If I can just make it through this week, I can make it to another week. And I'd be sitting in the living room, tossing and turning, trying to make myself sleep, trying to focus. And then within like the hour, I'm off to the races. I wondered what I was going to do this video about because I didn't get much sleep last night. I mean, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. None of it was like deep. It was all broken. When I'm stressed to the max about whatever it is, that's when the devil, the bad side of my brain, and my disease are working together. I mean, so many thoughts of what could be. So many. And I found gratitude in it today. I never once said, why do I have to go through this? You know, when I think about it. I just kept looking up. In between car deals, in between everything, I just kept looking up. And I said, all right, what does this mean? I did everything in my power to not say the word if, and then complete a sentence behind it. I did everything in my power to not say maybe they, maybe she. And I did every once in a while. But I would catch myself as the words came out of my mouth. And I stopped myself and said, that, we're not going down. And since I know that it's the disease, since I know it's the lack of sleep, that I'm hungry, tired, lonely, since I know that, I'm doing my best to make sure that the A in halt isn't going to happen, because I know that that can be around the corner. It has in the past. And then just things happen today to help me gain a perspective, to help me get some clarity. And when I think about it, I was praying for clarity last night. I said, please give me a dream that will give me some clarity. I woke up at like 2:58 with that pit in my stomach, with that pain in my chest, with that fear, insecurity, all of it. And I knew there was some kind of dream, but I didn't know what it was, so I wrote. How I was feeling, what I was thinking, all of that. I just wrote my ass off. Wrote for like, I don't know, maybe a good half an hour. Laid back down, said, please give me some clarity. Went back to sleep, woke back up an hour and a Didn't get to bed till like late. And I asked myself, what is this doing for me? And I realized that if I keep asking what instead of why, the answer will come. And sometimes the answer comes in different forms. My character defects come out strong when that happens. Because I'm not getting the instant gratification that I want. I was confused. I felt, I was confused. I will take this, all of this that I'm sharing right now, over how I felt last 2 years ago. The anxiety I had, knowing I'm going to go home, knowing that I don't have a chance, but I'm going to pray anyways. Lying to myself with each mile that passes. Each mile that passes, lying to myself that I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fucking do it. And with each mile that passed, as I said I'm not going to do it, something in my head was telling me, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You've had such a fucking week. You need a break. You are going to do it. And I was so conflicted, just... And then fuck it would just happen. I will take this over that any day of the week. And even though I don't like this or that, whatever, even though I don't like the way it felt, even though it was uncomfortable, I'm learning to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's one thing that clicked today. That's how I was able to produce the way I did today. That's how when a customer came in front of me and they were having such a good time, and I'm with the guy that I'm training, and I go back after I close my deal and I'm standing with him and I'm like, dude, I am so fucking stressed and tired. He looked at me in shock. Like, what? Because I'm learning that the uncomfortable is a place that we surrender to. It's a place that we accept. And that brings me to my next thing I'm going to talk about. I asked myself, I said, okay, I notice that on this side, it's wonderful, it's great, it's two-way, it's everything. It's amazing. But then every once in a while, there's this thing that I have to learn to accept right now. And it just dawned on me. Acceptance is the answer to all of my problems internally. It's not going to pay my bills. It's not going to change a situation. It's not even going to make anything feel better. But it's going to change the perspective. It's going to flip it. Because when I can learn to really, truly accept things as they come, not the acceptance part where, all right, in a couple months I'll learn to accept this and let it go. Like, as it comes, as it's right in front of me, where I don't like the way it feels, and accept that this is what I prayed for. I knew this would require patience. I asked myself, this is going to require an enormous amount of patience. Are you willing? And I looked in the mirror and I said, I'm willing. So then acceptance is the key. I keep trying to think, like, what do I do in this situation? Is it detachment? What is it, right? And yeah, that sometimes is the key. Sometimes it's acceptance. Sometimes it's faith and surrender. All of those things are how you walk through a storm. And each tool works differently for each situation. And you try the screwdriver, that doesn't work, you bust out the wrench. If that doesn't work, you grab a hammer. If that doesn't work, you grab a crowbar. And then eventually you're like, oh, well, I know how to use every one of these tools, but I don't, and I know this looks similar to each one of those, how those tools would work with, but until I keep trying each one, because if I just put all the tools down and I just stare at whatever it is and I try to think it fixed, it's not going to get fixed. The writing, the praying, the sermons, the working. It's how I love myself. Because I can't get loaded anymore. I can't say I don't like this feeling anymore and go pick up alcohol or pot or dope. I can't go to the casino. I can't distract myself with TV. I have to fight this head on. And fighting it is the work. And not being unhealthy in terms of like, okay, I'll just go to the gym on an hour of sleep. Take all the energy I have left in me, what little that is, and fucking push to the max there so I could go to work and not even function at work. I woke up like, all right, I'm going to the gym. And I said, no, you're not. You're not. You're not going to push through this. You're going to mentally fight through this. And you're going to do it the right way. The way you've always been doing this. The way you've been doing this for the last almost couple of years. And you do it, you write, and then your writing changes a little. Because you're getting it out. All of a sudden you're motivating yourself. Then all of a sudden you're able to breathe a little and you're giving yourself the proper nourishment for that particular situation at that particular time. So I can still show up, suit up, boot up, and get the fuck up out there and do the thing that I need to do. Because I'm driving to work thinking, man, I need to provide for my kids. So I do the prayers. And remember that God is first. And this has everything to do with God too. Trusting in God doesn't mean do nothing. It means do everything you possibly can that's going to help. And if you do it, then you can trust that God will also put in the work. And He's giving you the strength. I ask for strength today. Give me that strength. And then that way I can get in my car and I can feel this tired. And I can remember what 2 years ago felt like this tired, but in a different way. I don't hate myself. I'm not looking in the mirror like I should fucking die. I'm not looking out like who's fucking watching me. I'm doing a fucking video on my phone, not giving a fuck who passes by. Not even trying to make eye contact. I'd have never done this shit 2 years ago. Because this is also the thing. This is also the thing for me right now. Because I'm never going to watch this. Ever. I've never watched any of these. Maybe some of the shorts of me hiking. This isn't for me. It's for me right now to get it off my chest. It's for me right now because I don't have a 3-minute window of where I can speak and then I hear a duck sound and then I'm done. I get to vent it out. I don't have to worry about what somebody else is saying. I don't have to worry about what they're thinking as I'm saying it. I can put it out here, put it out there, and then maybe, just maybe, one day somebody will read the title of whatever I'm going to call this shit, and they're going to be like, okay, he's dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with right then and there, and he's not going to go get loaded. Because I started this the day out of treatment. So ultimately, this is about what that started with. This is about all the relationships I got into and how I wanted to get drunk. I wanted to at least smoke pot and didn't. It's about reminding myself of where I came from, thinking I'd never get back. And it's about building a relationship with myself. This is how I do it. This is how I've done it. And still be able to do what I had to do at work on minimal sleep. Still be able to show the new cat that's working there how to get it done. Still be able to show whoever that we don't give up. We put in the work and God steps in. Going on a hike on Monday, and somehow, some way,